What's going on, everyone? It's Gray, aka the Kagure. And if I'm a little out of it, it's because I've recorded this video already. I just recorded it, and then I went to upload it, and I went to listen to it while I was uploading to make sure that everything worked. And of course, there was no audio for the whole video. There was just nothing. And I thought, well, that sucks. And it's because of the Windows update. Windows updated, if you don't know, and it reset all my audio devices. Yeah. Anyway, RWBY, yeah. I do apologize. It's gonna be rough as I try to recount everything that I talked about. But bright side, there wasn't a whole lot this episode. They were talking. By the way, spoiler alert. There's another genie. His name is Ambrosius. I think Ambrosius is more correct, but whatever. He's very hot and blue. And they kind of spend the whole, literally half the episode just talking to him. And talking about what they want him to do because he's blah blah blah. But we'll get there when we get there. But so this is probably gonna be a shorter one. Heads up. Like the video, subscribe, because I have to say that in the video just in case. My hero is going to be, I'm just going to talk about the last chapter and the next chapter. So tomorrow, look out for that. There's going to be 2 for 1. And yeah, let's get into RWBY. Okay. Our episode starts off with Ironwood talking to Aesop's blah, blah, blah. Penny's going to be here. She's the protector of Mantle and the Aesop's. Except for Harriet, of course, because Harriet sucks. Harriet's wow, I can't wait to beat people up and be a terrible person. And then the other Aesop's are kind of man, this is not a great situation to be in. Are we the bad guys? And then Penny shows up. You know, listen, if you knew RWBY at all, you knew what was happening. They had Emerald there. They were come on. But either way, Penny shows up with John, Ren, Nora, and Oscar. I think Oscar's there. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know Oscar's there. Never mind. They show up with her, and she's and Ironwood's oh, thank goodness. I'm glad you showed up. And she's haha, psych! And it's Emerald, of course, obviously. And she disarms him. And then, since Winter's the only one there, the Aesop's left to go help with the bomb. It's basically a, 6-on-1. And Ironwood is unarmed. And you know what? For being unarmed and being massively outnumbered, he still does pretty okay. Until he doesn't and then gets knocked out and put in the jail cell with Winter's dad. So that's where Ironwood is, by the way. He's knocked out by the end of the episode. So I don't have to talk about that plot point anymore. Moving right along. After that, we get a flashback of them discussing what their plan is, discussing what they want to do, where they're going to go, and then kind of Osmond talking about the staff and what they're going to use it for, because it is pretty important, because they use a lot. My hat is so jacked right now. I apologize. How unprofessional. They talk about it. So, yeah, basically, they spend a solid 5 minutes talking about what's going to happen when they go to the vault. And they do go to the vault. No, they don't. Just kidding. Haha, I forgot. Really quick scene. By the way, it was Marrow and Winter in the elevator. Surprising no one, because it's the only people that could. But no crazy reveals or anything like that. The Aesop show up to try and stop them from stopping the bomb, because they did. But luckily, Marrow's there, and he does his really overpowered, stay, and they just stand there. So, Aesop's dealt with for the time being, at least. Moving right along, and I'm going to take a drink of water because I've been talking for almost half an hour straight. Woo! That's good stuff. All right, where are we at? Right, okay, so they go in the vault with Penny, with the real Penny, Team RWBY, the normal team. They're all back together. And Penny's kind of freaking out because the virus is, taking over. And they get the staff, and this guy pops out, Ambrosius. He's very hot and very distracting because of how attractive he is. I have a thing for the whites of the eyes being black. I just think it's one of the best aesthetics in the world, and they have it on him, and it just gets me, man. It just gets me. And they when they get there, they're he's hey, blah, blah, blah. The rules are we know exactly how you work because we had the guy tell us, Osmond, obviously. So they're all right, here's exactly what we want you to do. Word for word, blah, 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 Penny robot, blah, 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 Penny human, blah, blah, blah. That's what they do. They definitely say a lot of stuff, and it makes sense if you know, whatever, who cares? It's magic mumbo jumbo. It doesn't matter. they said that you had to be really precise, otherwise they'll give you some, like a monkey's paw kind of deal. And if you don't know, which I don't think I mentioned, it's hard to remember what I mentioned when I've done this twice, because I have mentioned it, just not in this one. If you have the staff, Ambrosius make you, that's what he does. I don't even think I explained that. Okay. So if you tell him how to make something and like how it works, he can make it. So it's basically like the Dragon Balls, but a little more, like less just like, I want to be alive. Like, you know what I mean? He can't bring back from the dead, by the way. He said that. They basically, as long as you know how something is made, he can make it for you, like lickety split, And he does. They separates all the Penny robot parts in the robot body, and they specifically made him make that, so that way, when they tell him to make his next thing, it's the robot body that disappears and not like Penny, because that'd be bad. But also at the current point in time, Atlas is starting to fall because he was what was holding up. His creation was what was holding up Atlas, and now it's going to come crashing down. So that's going to happen. So to combat that, they tell him to make a like a bridge and like a I don't know how to explain it. Basically, a bunch of portals leading to a walkway, a bunch of different walkways leading to one big portal to take them somewhere else. I believe it's Vacuo. It's kind of hard to pay attention when there's a hot blue guy who's basically naked in front of you. Sorry, I'm only human. Blah, 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 blah. And so that way they can get all the people, Atlas and Mantle, out, as you like that hand gesture. Atlas, Mantle, because they're on top. Yep, yep. Mm-hmm. And so he's like, hey, they're like, hey, make this. Penny's human now, through and through. It really is the story of Pinocchio, which we'll get there when we get there. Because I do want to talk about Penny being human, because I think that might come into play. And yeah, he makes it. So the people down in Mantle see the portals opening up. They're like, ooh, nifty, like finally a way out. And the walkway looks kind of like the Force dimension from Star Wars Rebels, if you ever saw that, with like a lot of like yellow and gold and like in the middle of looks like the void of space. So it looks cool. But yeah, so it looks like everybody in the cities is going to go through those portals and go to somewhere else, which is not there, because the cities are going to both not be there in a couple minutes. And of course, in the crowd, we see Cinder. If I had more screen caps available to me, I would, but I feel like 6 is already quite a bit for the most part. So, and prediction time. Did I miss anything? As I said, it's hard to remember what I talked about, what I didn't. I guess not. I don't think, at least. Either way. Okay, let's just go to prediction time. The biggest thing this episode, Penny's a human. So does that mean the theory of like they're all gonna have with maiden powers and because Penny dies seems a little more plausible, because there's 2 episodes left. So there's like a solid finale and a half waiting for us of stuff to happen. And Cinder's gonna go there, and the genie, Ambrosius, also said that if you fall in like when you're in the middle of space, which was between the portals, the space between the portals, if you fall, because it's a walkway with no handlebars, by the way, bad design, then he just said don't. So you can assume that you die. So I feel like because they mentioned that, it's probably going to happen. So get ready for that. I imagine that's how someone's going to die. Whether it be, I don't think Penny's gonna go that way. I feel like if Penny's going to go, she's going to get like stabbed or kill herself or something. She's like, take the main powers. And then Blake's going to show up and be like, what's you doing? She's like, Blake. Or maybe she'll give it to Winter, because Winter's good now. Who knows? And then, of course, Cinder's planning something. I don't know what she's planning, because Watts gave her that, pep talk. And assuming she doesn't try the same thing she tried last time. So I'm assuming there will be some differentiating plan here. I guess we'll see. Of course, I think Emerald will join Cinder, because I think Emerald is one. I think her semblance is way too overpowered to have on the good side, because realistically, alone, she can pretty much solve every problem. And 2, I think Emerald's going to play a big part in Cinder's character development, at least from what I think. That's my prediction, at least. Whether or not it's true, we'll see. Otherwise, I think I hit the core pieces. As I said, I apologize greatly. Super unprofessional that I didn't realize the first time I had audio, so this time suffered for it because I wasn't quite sure what I talked about, what's not. Overall, it was a good episode. Just like they really did talk to Ambrosius for like most of it, so that's why. I do hope that at one point all the relics go together and we can see them all, like all the genies interact with each other. I think it'd be really funny. Because they're all kind of sassy. At least Ambrosius certainly was. So he's great, by the way. He was hilarious. I guess they're not gendered, huh? Because they don't have. Well, the women. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's just not important at all. Wow, it is so not important. Let's not talk about that. Either way, that is gonna be it. I think. Hopefully, there's audio this time because I have to record this a third time. I'm gonna lose my mind. Thank you all so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Hopefully, next week I'm a little more together, a little more put together, because the mixture of me being on vacation and me having recorded it a second time clearly, I think, made this video a little rocky, but you know, overall, the thumbnail made up for it, right? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you all next time. I'll see you all next time. Yeah, there we go. See you all next time. Stay safe out there. Peace.